Hi, welcome back to my channel. So recently on our trip out west, we stopped at Mount Rushmore, which was our last stop as we were going out west before we came back home. And we stopped at a KOA, and it was a KOA resort. And I was very excited because I had never been to a KOA resort, and I wanted to see what the difference was between KOA resort and if you know anything about KOA, there's 3 levels of KOA. There's the KOA Journey, the KOA Holiday, and then the top one is the KOA Resort. It just depends on what types of amenities. Obviously, the KOA Resort is going to have lots of amenities. So I was very excited about this stay. So first, I want to show you around the campground, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the disappointment that I had in the KOA Resort. So stay tuned to the end so I can tell you all about the KOA Resort that was in Mount Rushmore, Palmer Gulch. So I will see you at the end. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And leave me a comment if you have ever stayed at a KOA resort. All right, this is where you come in, park right here, and then you go register. Right here, if they had any horses, would be in there. All of the horses are gone. Up here is the Peak Grill and Tap restaurant. We also have the lodge where you can stay if you're not camping. It looks like they have a tennis court, a basketball court. This is the swimming pool that is by the lodge. There's a nice playground right by the pool, by the lodge. This is a little water slide. It is also closed for the season. Here is what they call the fun zone. Of course, those stores right now are closed too. They have putt-putt. You can rent bikes when they're open, but they're not open. There's another playground over there. And basketball court. And then there's another swimming pool right here. Yes, there's no water in it. And just to give you an idea, Today is September the 3rd. And we got here yesterday, September the 2nd, and everything was shut down then. So if you want to enjoy all these amenities, you better get here before Labor Day. This is the laundromat, and depending on what wash cycle you choose determines the price. It was either $3, $3.50, or $4 per wash. During the summer, they have horses and you can take trail rides. They also have a chuck wagon supper you can go on. Unfortunately, they are closed for the season. So here's where they keep the horses. No horses. They do have some other shops out here, out front, but of course all of those are closed also right now. I hope you liked the tour of the campground. So let me just give you a little bit of information about the KOA Mount Rushmore. So it is open May 1st through October the 1st. And I think the main season that they're open is from Memorial Day to Labor Day. So just to give you a perspective on the different costs to stay there. So our stay, we showed up Tuesday, the day after Labor Day. So just one day after Labor Day. And our price was about $85 a night, and we did not have a resort fee. So if you stay at this KOA Resort from Memorial Day to Labor Day, you're going to pay $13 a day for a resort fee. And also I looked up different, so basically for the same kind of campsite that we got, if you stayed during this Memorial Day to Labor Day, the price of the spot that we had was about $150 to $160. And again, back to, I was very disappointed in the Resort here because as soon as we showed up, which again I said was just one day after Labor Day, and everything was shut down. Pretty much everything was closed. There was one pool open, which was the pool that was by the lodge or the hotel, but pretty much everything else was closed. The restaurant there was open the first day we were there, and I think it closed. We had lunch there the next day, but I think after that it closed. So it was very limited hours, but it closed while we were there. Being a KOA resort, it does have lots of amenities. There was supposed to be 2 restaurants. They had a couple of different pools. They had a slide. They had activities for kids. There was a stable there, and they did have horseback riding, like trail rides. There was a chuck wagon dinner. But again, if you're only gonna be able to access this if you're there from Memorial Day to Labor Day. So all of that was closed when we got there. So that was very disappointing. But on a more positive note, we only paid $85 a night. We didn't pay a resort fee, so I mean, that was good. Also, in the gift shop, because you know they were gonna be closing October the 1st, pretty much all of the merchandise, the t-shirts, hats, they had some jewelry, that was all 50% off. So I did buy a couple t-shirts and I did buy a hat, and they were on sale, like I said, 50% off because it was the end of the season. So that was a plus. This is my overall opinion of the KOA Resort. Well, to be honest, I was very disappointed, but I guess I can't make a fair judgment call on it because none of it was opened. There wasn't anything that was opened. We went to the restaurant, like I said, for lunch, and then it closed pretty much that day for the season. Would I go back to this KOA resort? That is a great question. I think I would probably try a different campground if we were ever back in that area, just because I was disappointed in this one.